So, welcome, Charlotte.
Thank
I'm
you.
really happy you're here and we can chat a little bit about writing from the body. And you took the 4 week course a little while ago, and I thought it would be really great to talk a little bit about what stood out for you, and also has it still rippled in your life now and in your writing process. So yeah, I wondered whether you could speak to any of the methods we use. So we did a deep journey into the body. We worked with breath work, worked with movement and writing. So yeah, just any of that, how it might have supported you.
Yeah, I took it with you in the summer, Eva. Well, it was kind of early summer, wasn't it? When we were at the very sort of peak of COVID. And that's why I wanted really to sign up. One, because I hadn't worked with you before and I'd heard some great things. And because I teach yoga and do yoga, I wanted to do a movement practice that was connected to writing. And also, yeah, to support me through that really tricky time and to be in an online community. So it was amazing online, and it did provide community support. It kind of blew me away how powerful it was in terms of um, the short practices. I mean, they were never very long practices, but they were really powerful. So if we danced a bit, moved a bit, and then did some free writing, and then at times you offered something more structured with the writing. And I was amazed at what came out, actually. And I think I remember saying this to you at the time and saying it to you since. And also, yes, there was a really powerful breathwork session. I remember we did. And that was really nice because also I was able to do it at home and have
Mhm.
that really deep experience.
Mhm.
And
That was one of the questions I had, It's like writing from the body. It used to be an intensive 1 day workshop here in my cabin, or I traveled with it.
yes,
And people had asked me before, can you bring it online? I said, well, it's writing from the body. But then I did. And yeah, and I wondered, whether, do you think there were any advantages as well
yeah,
to have it?
I think at this particular time in this year where we were all at home and that's what we had to do, um, I think it allowed people from different places to gather together, and I guess you wouldn't get that in person. Um, but yes, like the breath work, I was able to lay on my own bed, and then after that deep experience, I was able to be in my own space.
Mhm.
So um,
So
I
allows
think
that flexibility of,
uh, that
yeah,
really worked for me.
beautiful.
And I think I remember just taking a bit of time at the end of that particular session, and then I was able to eat a little something. I was close to home. Yeah, there was no traveling involved. Sometimes in workshop experiences in my own life, if I've stepped out of the space, it can be a
Mhm,
real shock
mhm.
actually, to have gone really so deep and opened up, and then suddenly you're
Yeah,
close with the real world, and it allowed it to be a gentler exit, I
that
suppose.
aftercare and that exiting
Totally.
into, you could slip right into a hot bath
Yeah,
afterwards, or
exactly.
just
Yeah,
just take that, not having to, yeah, like if you're in London, having to face public transport,
totally.
any of that.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, and I wanted to come back what you said at the very beginning, that you were surprised at the power of the exercises, and
Mhm.
some of them were short. And
Yes.
there's something about learning that even a little bit goes a long way. So a little bit of, dancing 2 tracks and then going into writing, or breathing that little bit deeper, or putting more attention and intention somewhere. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I'm wondering how that landed in your everyday life. Do you still use any of those practices, or?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, with my own, around that time as well, just to start there. So I remember between the sessions, I had a few difficult days, and I would pop a favourite track on and do a dance and then do a write and see how that was. And that was really amazing, because actually just writing randomly like that is something I do a lot anyway. It's part of my life.
So
But
this free
now,
writing, this stream of
yeah,
consciousness writing,
exactly.
allowing yourself to, yeah.
You know, like even this morning, I'm preparing for something I'm doing on Friday, and I sat with my notebook and just wrote a few things. It's something that I do, and I had some music on at the time. So yeah, it's informed a lot for me. And in terms of my own writing, regular writing experience, to move a little. And I know that we've done this, even my last coaching session with you, we did this where you put a track on and then I wrote, and it was just brilliant. And actually it just gave me a lot of space in that session, but just gives me some space actually to write whatever comes. It's been
Yes.
permission, I think's the word really.
Permission and making space.
Yes. Yeah.
Wonder whether there are any other like learnings from either individually from some of the practices, or just, yeah, if you want to say a little bit more about what you just said, you know, the permission, what
Yeah.
also within, where does it sit within the creative process? Because it also attracts people who really, you know, you might feel a little stuck sometimes and want to move your creative practice, or feel like, oh, I have this book that I wanted to start. And I mean, I hope that, and I've experienced it with many people, that writing from the body can offer you these entryways into writing that are quite unusual sometimes, but not very far. So it's
Yeah.
all available to us.
So I
Yeah.
think there's two things I want to say. One is that there's a simplicity about it. You know, things don't have to be a big thing. Like you don't have to do a year-long course to suddenly start writing something you really want to do. So what I loved about it, and still love about those offerings, Eva, is there is a simplicity which makes it really uncomplicated, which makes it really inclusive. So, like, if anyone has got a burning desire to write something in their life, like, it doesn't have to be a big deal. So, it certainly taught me that. Secondly, I've been bubbling a book idea, and that was definitely a main entryway for it, because I came off there thinking, wow, okay, yeah, like I write. And I've got this thing inside me, which I've been discussing with a friend only at that point. So it was at real seedling stages. And it definitely was a step on that journey, no doubt, of me taking the next steps to write more seriously. So yeah, it really opened the creative door. But I think the thing to really stress is the simplicity of it. And it can have a
Thank
really
you.
powerful effect. Yes.
Yeah, I love hearing that, because I really believe in that. You know, it's like very often, maybe in the past, myself or lots of people gone to workshops and longer term retreats, and
Totally.
we have beautiful experiences, but then to integrate that into our lives, and particularly into a everyday-ish practice.
Yeah.
And when it comes to writing or longer writing projects, it's so important, isn't it, that we nourish an everyday practice, and those entryways into more embodied writing
Yeah, and I think
can be
for
so
me,
potent.
because my work is my body, and that's what I do, and
You're a
my
yoga teacher, right?
yes,
Yeah.
and because my practice is my body, to do something different that wasn't yoga but was still a body practice as an entryway, yeah, was perfect for me. It was really inspiring. So but then you don't have to be a yoga teacher to do it either. I think it's really important to stress these things because they
Because
can
we all
be.
have a body, right?
Yeah,
And we all, yeah, can access, you know,
totally.
the, and oh gosh, we're having a big thunder, just if you hear that.
Wow.
Just
Wow.
want to explain that that's that. what that is. I mean, for me, there was such a big difference between, coming in a way cold to writing, just opening that laptop and hunching over and writing,
Yes,
to entering that in, through having warmed up, through having put attention to my body.
yes. And giving the space again, it's that word space. So I think moving a little allows things, it's like it's a somatic experience, isn't it, really? It allows things to come to the surface.
Yeah,
Giving them the space to really do that.
beautiful. Yeah, and sometimes just, in the day, we all get stuck.
Yes,
Moments. I certainly don't move enough at the moment. We have too much screen time.
yes,
So to remember those, when I was in that group and some things were just little, but they had a big effect. So yeah.
and the sharing, the breakout rooms, the sharing with each other, and the group sharing. I mean, it makes it a very intimate
Mhm.
experience. It's like everybody's come for different reasons, come at it in different ways, and
Mm.
that all gets acknowledged, really.
Yeah. And that sharing just makes it deeper
Yeah,
and allows us to feel, connected.
yeah, totally. So I
Just
think
in
there
a
is a benefit with online because, yeah, it can be people from different countries that gather together as opposed
mm.
to trying to do it in a room.
Great. And obviously I really hope we can gather in life spaces again. But in the meantime, yeah. So, and our next writing from the body will start on the 18th of November. It will be another 4-week course.
Great.
And so thank you so much, Charlotte. That's
Thank you,
been
Eva.
wonderful to talk to you.
And to
And
you.
yeah, okay.
Thank you.
Take care and have a beautiful day.
And you. Thanks, Eva.